Back in the basement again today for a quick video. You can already tell what the subject matter is based off of the title, you sleuths. But basically, I have entered into the Arnold Sports Festival as part of the USAPL Masters competition that they're holding. Now, this is big news for a couple of reasons, at least for me personally. I haven't competed since the World Cup, which was back at the end of June, so it's been about 6 or 7 months since I've competed, or at least it will have been by the time I compete again. This meet is at the very end of February. So excited to do that and very excited to finally go to the Arnold. This has been something people have been asking me about since I started my channel back in like 2009 or so, or are you going to the Arnold this year? Are you going to the Arnold? And I always kind of had it in my mind that I wouldn't go unless I was competing. And thankfully, I've made it to an age and a dot score that would allow me to get in. Now, it's not a 450 dot score like it was in the past. For the Masters division, it had to be over 400, at least when they finally opened it up. But I'm just really thankful that I was able to get in, and they'll be able to go, and also spend a little bit of time seeing some of my friends that I've known over the years, but maybe haven't got to meet face to face yet. Now, that being said, I'm not staying very long. I'm flying in on a Wednesday. The meet is on a Friday. I'm leaving Saturday. So I'm hoping that like Friday evening, which is typically one of the slower days, I think, Saturday being the busiest day, I'll still be able to go out and talk to some friends or whatever and spend some time around some of the different booths. I don't know. My main really focus is going out there and just trying to do the best that I can for myself and enjoy the experience. So as of today, which is Friday, I am exactly 12 weeks out. The meet is on a Friday. I'm very excited, and I just wrapped up my training week. Now, one of the things I'm going to do over the course of the next couple of weeks leading up is I'm trying to document this series as I get ready. So every week I'm going to try to put out just like a training recap, some thoughts, maybe some other things that I throw in, whether it be equipment choices or other things that I find helpful in my training, similar to what I've done in the past. So if there are certain things that you want to see or me to talk about, let me know in the comment section below, because these videos are for me, but also for you. They're an easy way to get out some information where I might not do a dedicated video on something specifically, or maybe even rehash some of the equipment that I've reviewed in the past that I still use day in and day out. Now, that being said, one of the big things I'm going to document as I'm doing this is I'm actually going to be running Evolve AI as part of this prep. I've been on it for maybe the last 2 or 3 weeks, and this brings up a lot of questions always, and maybe I'll do a deeper dive video, even though I've talked about it in the past a couple of years ago. Why Evolve and why not Juggernaut? And I've run both for good amounts of time, and I enjoy both, and I think both are very solid programs. The last time I talked about this on video, they were a lot more similar than they are today. They've both gone through some visual updates in terms of the UI, as well as the programming and options, being it like bench only that you can do in Juggernaut, or some of the strongman stuff that they're rolling out, or even in Evolve now, where you can have specific SBD preferences set up and really customize a lot of your training, as well as integrated health and, nutrition tracking. So there are a lot more differences as they continue to grow apart and evolve, for lack of better terms. But I've decided to do Evolve AI in this case just because I was interested in running it to completion for a meet prep. And when asking people, or people ask me why one versus the other, the analogy I thought of the best is one is like a barbecue chicken pizza, which I really like. The other is like buffalo chicken pizza, which I also really like, just depending on my mood. Both are good, and both I enjoy regularly. Same thing with these programs. So it's not one versus the other in my opinion. It's just I'm spending a little time here and I want to spend a little time over here. But again, I can dive into that as we go. As far as the training goes, I really only filmed the last 2 days because I wasn't sure if I was going to get into the meet or not. They opened it up to like the pro people first, I believe, and they opened it up to people who have a higher than 400 dot score. So I was able to get in, thankfully again. But I only filmed the last 2 days of training, which have been going really well. My body weight's actually been a little bit lower. I'm going to be competing in the 100 kg division, which is 220 pounds. And I've been averaging about 217. That's been like my normal weight. I don't imagine that's going to fluctuate up or down any, maybe a pound or two either direction, but I should probably compete around that 218 pound mark or so. I could potentially bump up to the 110 kg class, but I just feel most comfortable at this body weight right now. So that's what I'll be doing. In terms of my lifting structure for the last 2 days, Thursday was my primary deadlift day. I had a top set of just about 500 pounds for a set of 4, which I actually bumped up The Evolve AI suggested I do a little bit lower, but things have been feeling really good, so I bumped myself up on that, and things moved and felt really, really good, so I'm really excited about that. Also, throughout the duration of this particular video, I'll be showing you clips from some of my accessory work as well. Again, if you want me to dive in onto why I'm choosing certain accessories, we can talk about that in different videos. And then today, which is Friday, just finished training, was my primary bench day. I have like 2 other bench movements throughout the course of the week. Today was my heaviest day, which was a set of 4 for 275. Again, went above what Evolve had suggested. One of the things that I do with either of these programs, whether it's Juggernaut or Evolve, is whenever I start a new block or a new program, I always tend to use a little bit of my sub-max numbers. I just feel like that keeps me a little bit healthier, keeps me moving a little bit better, and still allows me to push the numbers some on those top sets if I really want to, and generally makes me feel good mentally, which for me is a huge boost, especially leading into a meet, which typically causes me a bunch of anxiety. So again, you'll see some clips. I'll try to label the clips of what day they're from and the numbers and other things at that. But again, whatever you want to see specifically during the course of this series, let me know in the comment section below. I appreciate y'all coming along from the ride. If you're gonna be at the Arnold, let me know as well. Maybe we can say hello to each other, dap you up if you will. But in the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.